Hello and welcome to Garage Rock Season 2, Episode 7. Oh, 7.
Lucky number 7, Stephen.
Oh, we're going to have to take a break.
Oh.
Too much.
I'm sweating like a gypsy with a mortgage.
I've never heard that. That doesn't even. I don't know if that makes sense or not. My name is Steve, and joining me, as always, Mr. Cameron Banfield. How are we, mate?
Yeah, good. But more importantly, Steve, we didn't do an episode last week because you're a bit under the weather. You're feeling better now.
Yep. Well, school holidays, and my brother asked me to look after his kids for a couple of days.
Okay.
And I caught all sorts of shit off those guys.
Yeah, so you're not like me. You haven't had your own kids where you've built up the immune system from their immune system. We've given you all the germs and shit from their child care. Oh, mate, they make you so sick.
Well, that's the thing. And
I've never been so sick until they were, going to childcare and that, bringing home all the germs. So I feel your pain. Are you feeling better now? Are you, baby cakes?
I am feeling a little better.
Good.
Thank you so much, Cam. But the first thing, because he said, look, can you pick them up from school? And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. And I thought
That's your first mistake.
Well, I thought they finished at 3 o'clock. So I got there about like 2:45, and he said, meet them by the bike sheds. They didn't finish till like 3:30. So I'm just this weird guy, and no one knows me because I'm the uncle.
That's pretty normal to get there that early, though. I know you probably felt awkward hanging around a school for that long, but you got to get there because of the parking.
I was the only one. I was the only one there not drinking. That was the weird thing. But yeah, so I picked him up and then I had him for a few days, and oh my god,
and how?
God, they just ask so many questions,
especially when you're showing them Game of Thrones and things like that.
Well, I had to entertain them somehow. But no, they just asked me, why is this happening? I don't know. Why is that? I don't know. Why is the sky blue? I don't know. Fucking ask Siri, and Siri's just like, fucked if I know. Like,
you got to teach him, Steve. That's why you're there. You're an uncle. You got to teach him things. You're a teacher.
Oh God. But anyway, we are back this week, Garage Rock, and as I said, it's mid-season finale. So we're going to be taking about a month off while Cam is living it up in London.
Yeah, living la vida loca.
Yeah, so you're heading over to London for a wedding.
Yes. Well, the wedding is in Liverpool. So we're going to be Liverpudlian. I'm going to be a Scouser for a bit, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You're right, Cam!
Jesus.
I actually went a bit Irish then.
Please don't do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Hopefully I can sneak over to Ireland for a bit. We're going to go to Wales.
Oh, yes.
We're going to stay in Wales for a bit. If you can recommend anywhere good to stay in Wales, I'm trying to rack me brain.
Well, maybe hit us up, garagerockpodcast@gmail.com. We have got listeners in Wales, so maybe hit us up a good place to stay.
Yeah, even if it's your house, that'd be great.
Well, that'd be a lot easier.
Also going to go to Scotland, so I've got my blue face paint ready for that. That should be really fun.
Yeah.
Freedom!
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Oh, why'd you roll your eyes? Is it because I'm wearing a kilt?
Yeah, well, it's because you're wearing a kilt and you're standing above a mirror. That's the only problem. We do have a massive show this week because we didn't have new music last week, and we've got nothing coming up next week. We're cramming it all in tonight. We've got 14 tracks,
and they're freaking awesome.
They're
this
all
week.
Awesome tracks, and that's the thing.
I've been rocking out to them the last week.
Yeah,
going. Well, crying because Steve been sick. I felt sorry for you, but the music's been awesome.
Yeah,
love it.
Exactly. And, we've also got to talk about our top 5, which this week is top 5 music videos. We had people write in for that.
Yeah, and we've had a great response yet again. So thank you so much, everyone that did. Mm-hmm. And I've got to admit, it's been a very tough one to choose my own top 5, but I've got there. I've got there in the end, Steve.
Well, that's good.
But I'm excited to read out everyone's because there's some fucking awesome clips in there.
Absolutely.
Coming from someone that used to stay up all night, like I've said it before, I'll say it again.
Yep.
Used to stay up all night and tape all my favourite songs off Rage.
Yep.
Even the interesting ones that I didn't really like.
Why did you tape them then?
Oh, because they're cool film clips.
Okay.
Nothing like a cool film clip. Doesn't mean you have to like the song.
Yeah, no, fair enough. And we're also on Facebook, so you can hit us up there. And we've changed our Instagram handle. We're now at Garage Rock Podcast.
That's at Garage Rock Podcast. So no underscore.
No underscore anymore. But Cam, first topic, what do you want to talk about?
Viagogo, Steve.
Yes.
Now, we've talked about Viagogo in the past, who they are and what they did wrong. And what they do wrong is basically everything.
Yeah. You remember the genocide in the 40s?
Yeah.
Viagogo.
Yeah. The Holocaust.
That was all Viagogo.
Yeah, they had to go. No, Viagogo are a ticket reselling website, and they make huge profits on tickets.
Yes.
And who pays for it?
Well, the customer can.
The customer.
Yeah, they mark up the prices insanely.
So if you want to go to, say, Steve's wearing a Smashing Pumpkins t-shirt.
Yep.
And it sells out, Viagogo might buy up
my t-shirt.
His t-shirt.
Yep.
The Smashing Pumpkin gigs, tickets, and you got to pay like sometimes 10 times the price for a ticket.
Yeah. Well,
it's absolutely disgusting.
Exactly.
We've spoken about this and we know where we stand.
Mm-hmm.
We don't enjoy it.
Yeah, we think that they can Viagogo fuck themselves.
Yeah, so the ACCC took the ticket resale site to the Federal Court of Australia, Steve, where they have been found to have engaged in misleading and deceptive conduct. Now, this is what we were talking about all those weeks ago.
Oh, of course.
When we were talking about Viagogo. Now, the court found that Viagogo misled consumers into paying excessive booking fees and inflated prices.
Yep.
Just what we were saying.
Exactly.
And they were also accused of misleading customers by using the word official in their Google ads, even though they aren't an official ticket office for major events.
Exactly.
So
you can imagine people who, I want to see Smashing Pumpkins, type in on Google. The first thing that comes up is Viagogo official tickets for Smashing Pumpkins. Well, there are people who are going to click on that thinking, well, that's where I get my Smashing Pumpkins tickets.
And that's it. And whenever you type into something Google and it says ad, skip to the first one that doesn't say ad.
Exactly.
I had the same thing the other day with Ballpark Music. Friends wanted to go to there. The first thing that popped up in Google was Viagogo, which is bullshit. So continue on from that. The ACCC have said Viagogo have to change their business model considerably. And they're looking to see if they can do that. If we still find them in the future to be deceiving customers, we will come after them again.
Ooh, wow.
And we'll be keeping an eye on it too, Steve.
Absolutely.
That's what we do here at Garage Rock.
Oh, absolutely. And that's it. And it's not just music, but it's theatre and sports. They just jack up the prices, and it's crazy. And it's good to see that the federal court have actually clamped down on it, which is great. And hopefully this will, make things better, and they're going to be held accountable, because otherwise, but then again, they'll probably just find another loophole. And
I have a sneaking suspicion that maybe the government have listened to our podcast about Viagogo originally, and this is where it's all stemmed from. So let's see how this goes, Steve.
Exactly. Now, another thing that we need to talk about is an open letter that Nick Cave wrote to a fan addressing his thoughts on the current state of rock and roll. And this is something that we're passionate about.
Definitely.
I mean, we host a rock podcast.
Well, it's Garage Rock, of course.
Exactly. So, but Nick Cave has said he's feeling that modern rock music, as we know it, has anyway been ailing for some time now. And he goes on to say that music has become safer, more nostalgic, more cautious, and more corporate. Finishing off by saying, at this depressing time in rock and roll, though, perhaps rock music needs to die for a while so that something powerful and subversive and truly monumental can rise up out of it. Now, Cam, we do host a rock show, so the death of rock's probably not the greatest thing for us.
I know, but honesty is a big thing. Like, to a certain degree, I'd happen to agree with Nick Cave.
Oh, yeah, me too, yeah.
With everything that's going on with rock at the moment, like, there's some fucking awesome stuff happening at the moment,
absolutely.
which we promote every chance we get on this podcast. Like, we have some awesome music coming through.
Oh, yeah.
But we've spoken about this before with the different... the different eras, Steve.
Yeah.
Like, well, let's take it back to rock around the clock. Let's talk about original rock and roll blues.
Right to the start, yes.
I'm talking Bill Haley and his Comets, and then we proceed into the Beatles era.
Yes.
Beatlemania. My era.
Yeah, of
where
course.
I was born.
Yeah.
My soul.
Yeah, exactly. And your body just caught up about 40 years later.
And now I feel like I am that age. No, but obviously that was a huge era, and then you move into the 70s where it's the psychedelic, even the end of the Beatles era, really psychedelic sort of, who are we talking, Steve? We're talking...
Well, even like Led Zeppelin sort of coming in. Led
Zeppelin,
Cream,
100%.
Those sort of bands that brought a hard rock element to it as well. And that then sort of branches off to Black Sabbath and then Metallica and what we know as hard rock or metal.
Yeah.
But then sort of like the disco era kind of popped up, and it kind of got a bit airy-fairy. And then the next thing you know, punk.
Yeah. We're talking late 70s, 80s punk where there's the anarchy, the against the consumerism, the capitalism, the just generally pissed off at everything.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Raging against the machine.
Exactly. It's not just a music genre, is it? It's an idea. Yep. It's a fashion
statement. It's a movement.
Which most of them really are, aren't they?
Of course.
And then we go on to, your era, Steve.
Well, yeah,
we're talking Smashing Pumpkins. We're talking grunge era.
We're talking grunge, exactly.
Moving into the 90s.
Yeah.
Like, wow, what a great time.
Exactly. So you're coming off a lot of the pop and sort of power ballads of the 80s, and then another sort of movement, like the punk movement, grunge sort of evolved from that.
Yeah, you got the Seattle grunge scene with all the bands coming out from there. You got your Nirvana and
Soundgarden, Jam, exactly.
Everyone, like it's a whole feeling, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. Ripped denim,
exactly,
long hair.
But then it seems to me that there's sort of like this sort of things will go in a commercial wave.
Yeah.
Like you'll get, even like in 90s, you had your boy bands and your girl bands sort of coming up, and then the sort of rejection of that. At the end of the decade and the start of the 2000s, you had new metal come along, which is Korn,
Limp Bizkit,
Linkin Park, and then they become mainstream themselves. Like Linkin Park became huge, and then it sort of.
But again, it was something new. It was something exciting, something different.
And then after a few years, hardcore became the new movement as well.
Exactly.
And emo and screamo and all that kind of stuff.
Which was very hard to compete when I was in a band. I was in a rock band.
Yeah.
And that was when hardcore was dominating the scene, which I got nothing against that. It was awesome, you know. Like I'm talking real hardcore, I'm talking emo, everything. There's all little subgenres as well.
Of course.
But it was tough for me to get out there in a band in that kind of environment.
Yeah.
But it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was huge. But have we seen anything like that since?
Well, that's the thing. It seems, and I think this is where Nick Cave's going, and I tend to agree, or maybe I'm reading between the lines, but all of the new bands that are sort of like really doing things, and I'm not saying that they're making bad music and or that they're not good bands, but you look at like Tame Impala are killing it. Well, that's just a hark back to the psychedelic scene.
Yeah.
And you've got even like Greta Van Fleet who are doing big things as well, and that's more hark back to the Led Zeppelin era. And there's so many bands, you can kind of pigeonhole them into different times or different genres throughout the ages, and it doesn't seem that there's like a new sound, like all of a sudden, bang, we've got punk, bang, we've got grunge. And I know that they kind of build up into it, but then they become a movement, just like new metal became a movement as well.
Yep.
And even before that, we had Beatlemania.
Yes.
So it doesn't seem that there's anything like that
I don't
happening.
care what genre it is. I would kill to see anything like Beatlemania. Again, that would be awesome. Say something come out that's, new Shazwazzle music or whatever, and it's the next Beatlemania. It'd be fucking awesome.
Exactly.
And I think that is what Nick Cave is sort of, trying to get at.
Yeah.
There needs to be the next big thing. Who knows what it will be? I'm interested to see, but something will happen.
And I think what he's saying by, letting rock die for a while, because, people were saying, rock is dead in the late 90s, and all of a sudden new metal came along. People were saying rock is dead in the late 80s, and all of a sudden grunge comes along.
Yeah.
So maybe...
It's all offshoots.
Exactly. Maybe we need rock to come to the forefront. We need it to sort of go missing for a while, and then something to just come in and be the new evolution of rock.
Yeah, totally. I feel like everyone in this day and age has to be quite safe.
Yes.
And politically correct.
Yep.
Which is why I'm talking serious right now.
Yes.
No, but I don't know whether it's with social media and just the way the world is at the moment. If you look at like punk, for example, like I love punk.
Yep.
How shocking was that at the time for people?
Yeah.
Like would anyone have the guts to come out and do something like that? But it has to be an amalgamation of so many different things to just all the moons to align for it to come together and be massive.
But sometimes you need that kind of shock. If you think back to like Marilyn Manson, for example.
Oh, totally.
When Marilyn Manson came onto the scene and there was this outcry of this, keep your kids away from Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
But before that, they were saying that about Guns N' Roses.
Yeah. And whether it's good or bad, how exciting is that?
Yeah. even once again, just going back, Led Zeppelin, this is satanic music. And even the Beatles had their critics. Yeah, exactly. Elvis, jeez.
Elvis was too sexy.
Exactly. Too sensual on stage.
Those moves on stage.
Yeah.
Like, no, that was Queen. But anyway, you know what I mean.
But yeah, I don't know, maybe we... And look, I don't want rock to die. Obviously not. Neither of us do. We'd be out of a podcast. But
well, maybe it is at the moment. Like maybe that's what is happening at the moment. Where there's a bit
lull.
of a lull.
Exactly.
I don't know. The world is like a stock graph. There's peaks and troughs, Steve.
Yes, that's true.
But as long as it follows its resistance line, it's going to be fine.
True. So hopefully a new genre, a new evolution of rock, a new movement. I want a new movement, Cam.
Me too, but in the meantime,
yes,
there's some fucking good shit out there. Like you see how excited we get about this music sometimes. You know, with 13, like that's my boys from of late,
of course. But saying that's an offshoot of grunge.
Exactly.
Yeah, and like I've been harking on about DZ Death Rays and Violent Soho, but like that's a hark back to grunge as well.
Yeah.
And like Tame Impala going back to the psychedelic era, we don't have a problem with their music and we think it's awesome, but it's not the next evolution of rock. I think that's where I'm coming from.
Something's going to happen, Steve, and I can't wait to see what it is.
Exactly. So we'd love to get your thoughts as well. So hit us up, garagerockpodcast@gmail.com. Maybe there's something that's bubbling under the surface, about to explode, but hasn't yet. And we don't.
Yeah, I'd love to know your idea because I'll start a band and join the bandwagon.
Exactly. We'll be one of the creators, and then because you notice when one of these bands comes out on the scene and does something and explodes, then all of a sudden every band is doing it.
Yeah, saw it with the hardcore scene.
Exactly.
Well, I'd love to hear what Nick Cave has, what else he has to say about this.
Email us.
Please let us know. That'd be awesome.
Yep. But moving on, Cam.
Yeah, what do we got, Steve? Have we got a few tour announcements this week?
What are we talking? And we've got a shitload, and I do say shitload, of Splendour in the Grass slideshows.
Ooh.
Slideshows or sideshows? Slideshows.
Well, you could do an old-fashioned slideshow if you want.
Could be a PowerPoint presentation. We don't know. First of all, Splendour in the Grass, even with an increased capacity, Cam, has already sold out with a record 42,500 tickets sold.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Exactly. Most of those were picked up by Viagogo to on sale later on.
Steve.
But they've also got sideshows. So if you can't make it to Splendour, hit up these sideshows. So I'm just going to rattle them off, Cam. Ready?
Tell me. Talk to me. What do we got?
Well, first of all, Childish Gambino will be playing shows in Perth, Sydney and Melbourne, and you can get your tickets through livenation.com.au.
Yeah, my wife wants to go to that. She already tagged me in that one.
Oh, that would be awesome, Cam. He's a great performer.
Yeah, I'd like to see him live, something like that. Apparently, it's awesome.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Now
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover, yes. Bit of Community. Now, all these remaining shows are available through secretsounds.com.
It's a secret.
Sorry, Cam. I'll say this quietly then. Yeah. Falls will be playing in Melbourne, Sydney and Perth. Catfish and the Bottlemen in Sydney, Melbourne and Perth. James Blake in Sydney and Melbourne, and due to demand, he's added a second Melbourne show. Ow! The Streets are playing in Perth, Melbourne and Sydney. Friendly Fires in Melbourne and Sydney, and Fiddler in Fremantle, Adelaide, Melbourne, Newcastle and Sydney. Now, there are also several other shows, so head to secretsounds.com to check out all the shows, dates, and to buy tickets.
And they reckon it needs to die. Spin-off festival, Steve.
Yes.
I'm talking basically a mini Splendour right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The 2019 Spin-Off Festival has been announced for July 19th at the Adelaide Showgrounds.
Awesome.
Have you been there?
No. I've not been to Adelaide.
Oh, I went to Adelaide. I played a gig in Adelaide at Fowler's Live, which I think is now closed down, unfortunately. Bloody awesome place.
Yeah.
I had a good time when I was there. It was a long time ago now. Getting old, aren't we, Steve?
I think so.
Oh, yuck. This is an all-ages festival, which is really good to see, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
And it features a number of artists who are in town for Splendour in the Grass. Mm-hmm. Hence, Spin-Off Festival. Including Childish Gambino. Hello, Donald. Catfish and the Bottlemen, Ballpark Music, Ocean Alley, Wolf Alice, Hockey Dad, Mallrat, and Ruby Fields. Tickets are on sale now, Steve. Mm-hmm. Head to spinoffadelaide.com.au and buy your tickets.
Sounds awesome, Pam. And one more tour announcement.
Yep, Clowns, our boys from Unify, which we caught their set, which is bloody awesome.
Yeah.
They're a Melbourne band, Steve, obviously, and they've announced Australian tour in support of their album Nature/Nurture. Mm-hmm. That's like nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Except it's
like,
a slash instead of
do we say
verse.
slash or would you say nature nurture?
We could just say nature nurture.
Either way, it's out now through Damage Records. The band will be playing 9 shows across the country.
Yep.
Kicking off in Hobart on June the 1st. I'll be back for that.
Oh, yeah.
I really like this album, Steve. It's definitely worth checking out.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely.
Steve also had a chat with the drummer Jake.
Yep.
Which is, check out that interview on the Garage Rock podcast.
It's cool, actually, because with the album, which is pretty cool, they've also done a hot sauce to go in conjunction with the album.
How awesome
so
is that?
you can pick up, and they've like created the hot sauce.
Feeling
they didn't just
hot,
stick
hot,
some
hot.
labels on some other sauce. They made the sauce themselves.
That's awesome. Tickets are on sale now. Head to clownsband.com for all the dates and to buy tickets. So that's Clowns Tour.
Clowns Tour. Now, Cam, for the last time before you go away...
Talk to me, Steve. It's time for...
Top 5!
Yes, that's right. It's time for Top 5. And this week, it's Top 5 music video clips.
Exactly.
Right up my alley, Steve, isn't it?
Gotta love music videos, Cam.
Yeah, and like I said before, we've had a lot of people write in about this.
Yeah.
So we're going to rattle off some of them now before giving our own top 5, Steve.
Exactly. So thank you to everyone who did write in. Let's have a listen. So what have we got so far, Cam?
Brenton has written in and said, Try, Try, Try by the Smashing Pumpkins, which is fitting because you're wearing the Smashing Pumpkins. It's like you knew.
Well, I did put the rundown together. So.
You did. Christine has said, Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel.
Yeah.
Awesome stop motion and claymation clip there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it reminds me of Stinkfist by Tool. Yeah.
Sorry.
Ben sent through his top 4, including All the Small Things by Blink-182.
Yep.
Great little piss take there. Californication by Red Hot Chili Peppers. Learn to Fly by Foo Fighters. And Kemp by Millencolin.
Yeah.
Bloody awesome. Melissa said Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden. Well, I probably shouldn't sing these, should I?
No. Oh, well,
no.
we can. Actually, no one can tell us what to do.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
do it.
Yeah, we're anarchists. Les has said Poison by Alice Cooper because boobs are awesome.
Well,
how can you argue with that?
I can't argue with that logic.
Boobs roll, as Beavis and Butthead would say. Sarah has said Thriller by Michael Jackson scared the shit out of her as a kid.
Yeah, well, I think it scared the shit out of a lot of people, that one.
That laugh at the end, just that laugh there. That honestly did scare the hell out of me as a kid. Another Sarah said November Rain by Guns N' Roses. Wow,
well,
full clip,
slash on the bloody
on the stairs there. Yeah, awesome. Ryan said Do the Evolution by Pearl Jam.
Yep.
That's all, cool animated clip. I remember taping that one, Steve.
Yeah.
With the dinosaurs and just didn't make any sense, but it was awesome. Brenton said Do the Evolution by Pearl Jam as well.
Yeah. Good on you, Brenton.
Popular one, isn't it, Stephen?
It's a couple there.
Adam sent through his top 5 and Adam sent these through quite quickly from our last episode. Yeah, what a fucking legend, Adam. I love you. Adam. I love you so much. His top 5 is Come to Daddy by Aphex Twin. Yeah, that's a creepy, the weird heads. Number 4, Here It Goes Again by OK Go.
Yep. One
of the best live bands I've ever seen, actually. They come out in the crowd, played the instruments. It was awesome.
Oh, nice.
Hardest Button to Button by the White Stripes. I like that with their
moving
their bass drum and the moving of the stuff. Watch it. Great description.
If you didn't understand what Cam said, watch it to understand what Cam said.
Number 2, Thriller by Michael Jackson. No. Number 1, Smack My Bitch Up by The Prodigy.
Yeah, that's a good twist in that.
Damn, he's like that one. I like it too.
We've got some more. Deborah said Somebody That I Used to Know by Gautier.
Deborah. I like that one. Yeah.
Painted one. Sean also said Smack My Bitch Up by The Prodigy. Paranoid Android by Radiohead and Coffee and TV by Blur.
Nice.
Alison said Weapon of Choice and Praise You by Fatboy Slim.
Yep.
Awesome. Brian said Side to Side by Ariana Grande. And if you've seen the clip, you'll probably know why.
Oh, that's my favourite thing to order from Taco Bell as well.
Crying out loud. Stephanie said Single Ladies by Beyonce.
Oh, the Single Ladies.
Put your hands up. Star Wars parody of Bohemian Rhapsody. That's by Benjamin. And he also said "Sleep in the Heat" by Pub. Now that's a sad clip about a dying dog. It's very no. Don't laugh.
I haven't seen that one.
It's check it out. It's right in the cockles, right in the heart.
Oh well, whatever floats your boat.
Exactly.
Thanks, Benjamin.
Shane said "Take on Me" by Aha.
Aha.
The grey lead drawings of the
that's cool.
Through. It's pretty
revolutionary
of its time. Chris said "All the Small Things" by Blink-182. Lex, our Garage Rock co-host,
Lexi,
on the show, he said "Bittersweet Symphony" by The Verve.
Oh yeah, when they're walking down the street.
That's pretty awesome there. And finally, Kate sent through her top 5, including Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen, Down on the Corner by Creedence Clearwater Revival, The Devil Went Down to Georgia by the Charlie Daniels Band, It's a Long Way to the Top If You Want to Rock and Roll by AC/DC, and Thriller by Michael Jackson. So, pretty good ones there. Everyone, thank you very much for writing in.
Thank you so much.
If you want to add to the list, hit us up, garagerockpodcast@gmail.com. But Cam, I'm dying to hear yours because you've been going. You tell me how much you love music videos.
Yeah, well,
now's your time to prove it.
This was a big part of my formative years, and it was very hard again for me to. I thought, this is going to be easy.
Yeah,
but then I started researching, what really sticks out for me, and I always know my number one.
Yeah.
No matter what anyone says, my number one is always my number one. It's the best film clip ever made, I reckon.
Mm-hmm.
But I've just got a couple of honourable mentions quickly. I could have done about 50, but I've boiled it down to about 3.
Yeah.
I did bracket these ones together. System of a Down, Chop Suey and Toxicity.
Oh, they're both very good clips.
Those two there. I just like in Toxicity with the and the whole crowd just sort of rises up
against. Yeah.
Oh, it was just awesome.
Yep.
And not to mention Chop Suey. It was like one of the strangest songs I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Especially for that time. And the tattoos on Darren, and I thought they were all real, but they weren't. But some of them are. It was cool. And I had to put Michael Jackson's Thriller in there just because it was like a mini horror movie.
Well, that's it. You do love your horror.
I do love my horror movies. But anyway, number 5, I had to put in there for comedy value.
Yep.
Peaches by the Presidents.
Oh.
Do you remember that one at all?
Oh, yeah. Millions of times. Millions of peaches.
Where they're dressed up like ninjas, fighting the ninjas and stuff like that. It was cool. Number 4 is another animated one. Mm-hmm. Freak on a Leash by Korn.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. That really stuck with me, that one. You know, I just thought it was really cool, really intriguing film clip. Very dark.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of dark.
Yep.
And speaking of freak, number 3.
Michael Jackson.
Close. Freak by Silverchair.
Oh, yeah.
I had to put that in there just because I just remember it so vividly. Like they got that weird lady that ages, and then they're all like jamming in like looks like a toaster, and they're gathering their sweat to make that weird alien lady young sort of thing that had no bottom half. Yeah, it was awesome. Number 2.
Yep.
Now, this is a funny one. Not many people might have seen this one. If you do have Blink-182 Urethra Chronicles number 2, it's on that. It's Stay Together for the Kids. So one of my favourite Blink songs, the original film clip. Now, they did film 2. The second one was released, but the first one they filmed, it looked awesome, but it was right around September 11th.
Oh, okay.
And it was of a house getting demolished, and it looked like everything. It looked everything like what you were seeing on the TV from September 11th. So they decided to can that film clip, even though it was finished and it looked great. But they thought it wasn't very tasteful to release that at the time.
Right.
So they canned it and did another film clip, but. That original film clip is awesome.
Yeah.
You'll be able to see it online now as well if you want. But number 1, I don't know if I made it any obvious, but it's my favourite film clip of all time.
Yep.
I remember the first time I saw it, I was so amazed. Such a great twist at the end.
Yep.
Smack My Bitch Up by The Prodigy.
Yes.
Just such a great it's just a night out.
Yep.
In the first person, drug-fueled, messy, and there's a twist at the end. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
Yep.
Smack My Bitch Up by The Prodigy. Great film clip. Loved it, Steve. And a great song.
Yeah.
Got it on vinyl, by the way. Don't know if I mentioned that before.
Nearly every week on this show, you've noticed.
Prodigy just keeps coming up,
I've got a couple of honourable mentions myself.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous, thank you. Sabotage by the Beastie Boys.
Oh, yeah.
Which is very cool. And
yeah, I remember that one. That was on all the time on Rage.
Yeah. Freak on a Leash as well, because that just brings me back.
Yep.
And also Chop Suey as well. That just, I mean, it just takes me back to watching Rage, man.
Yeah, it's sort of like they're coming through each other when they're singing their bits and
their bits are going everywhere. Yeah. Okay, so and also
I've seen that porno.
One last honourable mention, Smells Like Teen Spirit. Now, that is my favourite
What's your favourite song? So.
And also the music video. It's just a bunch of teenagers going mental in a gymnasium to a grunge band. I mean, it's awesome. It's perfect.
Self-explained.
The only thing about it, and it would probably be on my top 5 if it wasn't for this, but the video clip is the radio edit, so half the solo's missing and half the intro's missing.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Exactly. So that's why, otherwise, it'd be in my top 5.
Yeah,
that's where it really counts. Now, number 5.
Number 5, Steve. What do we got? What are we kicking off with?
One by Metallica.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Now, that's talk about frightening videos. I mean, it's pretty much, it's half of it's the band playing and the other half is scenes from a film called Johnny Got His Gun, which is a war film. Pretty much the guy's had his arms and legs blown off. And this is what the song's written about.
Yeah.
The film, he's had his arms and legs blown off. He's in a bed. He can't speak. He can't look, anything like that. So all he's got is his mind. It's the only thing alive.
That's crazy,
and
wouldn't
he's just like, I got to get out of here, got to get out of here. And the doctors are keeping him alive because he can't tell them not to.
Isn't it funny? I never really took in that part. I just remember the band playing in some sort of like warehouse kind of or factory or something. And I just remember the bass drum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That just sticks in my head.
Yeah, well, sticks in my head is the limbless guy who wants to die.
Shows how much compassion I have.
But the guy's
but the bass drums, man.
The guy's communicating through nods in Morse code to say "kill me."
Yeah,
because it's just
what a horrible way to go.
Exactly.
Number 4.
Number 4. Under the Bridge.
Oh, under the bridge.
The slow motion Anthony Kiedis just running. Straight at you.
Straight hands, which was weird, but that's cool.
And that's cool. That's how he does it. That's how he does it.
One of my early memories of film clips there, Steve.
Yeah. It's an awesome clip and iconic. I'm going to say it. Iconic.
Put it out there.
Put it out there.
I took it in.
The world will just give it back to you.
They do.
Number 3.
They will.
Here It Goes Again by OK Go.
Oh,
the treadmill clip.
The treadmill clip, of course.
And they've got so many. If you just go on YouTube and type in OK Go and look at their video clips,
few fails.
No. They're all one shot. All their music videos are all one take.
I thought you were going to say people trying to do the.
I haven't seen that. Clip. I've heard about it, but I haven't. Yeah, but
but the rest of their film clips.
There's one where they're in zero gravity. They've like flown the plane up.
Yeah.
And the video clip's done in zero gravity.
That's
and they're like
awesome.
floating around a plane. There's another one which is an awesome one. This Too Shall Pass, which is done in a warehouse, but it's all one shot. And seriously, after this podcast, people go and watch this clip. I'm going to show it to you.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one,
I'm going to show it to you because it's pretty awesome. Now, number 2. Foo Fighters, All My Life. I love myself a good rock, like just bands rocking out in the video clip.
Yep.
And this is perfect. And just when the lights go out, when this chorus goes in, and it's just the red light at the back of the stage, and they're just rocking out in front of the red light. It
just bleeds rock and roll, doesn't it,
absolutely.
Steve?
And the first time I saw them live, they did that as well. And I was just like, yeah, this is amazing.
So they brought it to life for you, Steve. That's what they did.
See, the
clip
what they
do.
Coming to life. But number 1 is Nirvana.
Ooh.
But it's a track called You Know You're Right, which came out with their greatest hits about 2002, I think.
Don't even know if I've seen this one. Talk to me. What is it?
It's just a montage of Cobain, pretty much.
Oh, nice.
It came out, obviously, 8 years after he died. But it's just a montage of the band, mainly Cobain, to this song. And it's just, I just love it. When I think of music video clips, that's the first thing that springs to mind. So that's why I've gone with You Know You're Right by Nirvana.
I love montage film clips as well. I know some people see them as a cop-out, but I remember The Living End did Dirty Man off their Roll On album.
Yep.
which they were going to do a proper film clip for it, but they ended up getting a bunch of like home video footage and this and that was filmed here and there, because it was when Chris had his accident. He decided to drive his car off the Great Ocean Road and broke his leg.
Drive, jeez.
Nah, it was a drunk driver drove him off the road, so he was lucky to be alive. So. Yeah, check out the Dirty Man film clip for The Living End. That's cool.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, there's like video footage of him like kicking the footy at the airport and stuff like that. Yeah, it's cool.
It's cool. I don't find montage clips as a cop-out. And this one in particular, is I enjoy it. So that's my top 5. But our top 5, Cam, for when we return.
Yeah.
After you get back from Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool.
Hanging out in Beatleville.
Yeah.
We're going to do, what is your favourite Beatles song?
Beatles song, yeah. I'm going to Beatleville and I'm the mayor.
Beatleville. Is anyone... I've never heard Beatleville before, but I just made it up.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We'll go with it.
I like it.
So, hit us up, garagerockpodcast@gmail.com, or also on our socials. What is your favourite song by the Beatles? There are so many, Cam.
I'm lucky enough to, when I'm in Liverpool, we're there for about 9 or 10 days, right?
Oh, yeah.
So plenty of time. Because most of the family is over in Liverpool, living in Liverpool.
Yeah.
Living in Liverpool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get personal tours by them. Like where we're staying is just like next to Penny Lane, and my wife's uncle lives near Strawberry Fields and things like that.
That's awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Well,
can't wait to go to Abbey Road too. Oh, that's in London.
Well, all of our listeners, hit up our Instagram. You'll see photos of Cam.
Yeah, I'll definitely send some photos
in England.
You sound like you're from London.
Jesus.
When I was in New Zealand,
yep,
there was a pub, like a nightclub called The London.
Yeah.
You know, in touristy towns where you get those people that give out the card and say, come here, you get free drinks and free entry and blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
They were everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And whenever they'd come up to me and annoy me, to every single one of them, I'd say, you sound like you're from London. They hated me.
I could imagine.
But I kept doing it.
I hate you for doing it right now. But now we've got our new music, and now, as I mentioned earlier, I mean, normally we do about 6 or 8 tracks. This week, 14, Cam.
A whopping 14.
Because we've got so many to get through, but they're all awesome. We've got a good mix this week, Cam.
Yeah, I've seriously been rocking out to these tracks.
Now I'm going to start with our first track, which is called Holy Hell by Jackson Carroll. Now this is Sydney songwriter Jackson Carroll, who's released his new single, Holy Hell, which is taken from his upcoming debut EP. Now, there's a lot of soul to this track, and I really think he's got a great voice. Kind of get a Matt Corby vibe from the vocals.
Love Matt Corby.
Love Matt Corby. So this is Holy Hell by Jackson Carroll.
I never doubted my eyes till I saw some shit I damn well can't explain. I wake up half asleep among some distant pouring rain. I've ever seen. Holy hell, I hear people speak but can't figure out what they mean. Holy hell, I spend most every night tearing pieces of my head out to free my mind, to free my mind.
That was Holy Hell by Jackson Carroll. Up next, Steve, we've got This Could Be the Start of Something Special by Tim Smythe and Holy Trash.
Very special.
I had the pleasure of seeing these guys support Trial Kennedy last year.
Oh, yeah.
And awesome vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Great sound and just really chilled out. You know, really enjoyed it. Melbourne-based band Tim Smythe and Holy Trash have released their new single, This Could Be the Start of Something Special. And I'll tell you what, Steve.
Yep.
This could be the start of something special. It's the first release for them for 2019.
Yep.
With some more music planned for later in the year.
Yep.
Now, Steve, this it's really cool, really chilled. I love the vocals. And you know what? I think it's a really good driving song. This is going to be on high rotation when I'm driving around the UK in the next month.
Oh, yeah.
So I can't wait for everyone else to hear it. This could be the start of something special by Tim Smythe and Holy Trash.
Tell me what it takes to see you smile. Come over to my place, we can sail into the wild. Might take a photograph and keep it forever. Let's make tonight one to remember. Take it easy, let it ride, just keep your feet on the pavement.
That was This Could Be the Start of Something Special by Tim Smythe and Holy Trash. Very nice song there, Cam.
Yeah, love it.
Now, our next track is by Melbourne four-piece City Calm Down, who have released their new single Television, which is taken from their next studio album. And I really like the direction they've gone with this song. It's got a good uplifting vibe, and it reminds me a lot of The Smiths and that kind of post-punk sound from like the late 80s. City Calm Down will be playing shows in Melbourne on May 18 and Sydney on June 1st before heading to the UK and Europe in September. So right now, this is Television by City Calm Down.
Invitations falling off the fridge door. Same excuse, but I don't mean offense. When's your wedding? Was it really last week? I was busy watching reruns on repeat. Television, you're on my mind. Mute the truth, just show me the good time. Television, you're all I need. Turn it off and I forget how to breathe.
That was Television by City Calm Down. Up next, we've got Feel It Now by our mates, The Pinheads.
The Pinheads.
We did an interview with them a couple of months ago now.
Yep.
Legends. They're Wollongong rockers, and they've released their single Feel It Now, which will be taken from their upcoming album Is This Real, which is due out on May 24th through Farmer and the Owl and Inertia.
Yeah.
Make sure you check out our chat with Tanya. Mm-hmm. She was an absolute legend. You know what, Steve?
Yep.
This song's pretty cool. Like, it's got... When I first heard it, I thought, this song has got the perfect tempo to do a floss to. Do you know what I mean? It's just that right tempo for me anyway. Maybe not for the younger kids.
I don't know if they had that in mind when they were writing the song, going, actually, you know what, slow it down a bit.
Yeah.
I think this is a bit hyper flossy.
Yeah, I doubt that. Yeah, they thought that very much. But anyway, this is Feel It Now by the Pinheads.
Watching the television, 3 meals a day. You question your existence, but don't make a change. You might take solace in love or Christ. Something to fill the void, to block those questions wide. You kill our voice and keep inside. You fill its void with empty lies. You feel it now. You feel it now. You feel it now. And you know you're gone. You know you're won.
That was Feel It Now by the Pinheads. Our next track is Get Better, which is the first release from Melbourne Rockers Press Club since their debut album Late Teens back in March last year. Now, Press Club are currently on a 20-date tour throughout the UK and Europe before coming home to play shows in Sydney, Brisbane and Melbourne this May and June. Now, I've been following Press Club for a number of years now, and I really love their sound. Natalie Foster's vocals are great, and I really love the changes in tempo throughout this new song, Get Better. So let's check it out. Get Better by Press Club.
Most of my life that I've known ya, I've watched you fuck it up and stuck with you despite it all. It seems a little frustrating, and I can't see it out. I can't see it out. This has to all get better. We have to all get better. Not easy come, but easy go. Not everybody's asking for it.
That was Get Better by Press Club. Up next is one of my mates.
Yeah.
You know, Slowly Slowly.
Oh, yeah, your mates.
Yeah, they got a new song called Jellyfish. It's the latest single from Melbourne Rockers, Slowly Slowly, who we had the pleasure of seeing like a solo version of this song when we saw Slowly Slowly at 170 Russell last year.
Yep.
Was it last year or was it this year?
Late last year. Your time,
I know.
Sarah, your memory is shocking.
It's like I've got children. Which makes no sense. But these guys are supporting Amy Shark in her upcoming tour, which is a great get because they just did Red Hot Chili Peppers as well at Day on the Green or whatever the fuck it was. But good on them. And they're playing at Splendour in the Grass also. But my thoughts on this song, Steve, is it's awesome. I really feel like they're they're just finding their groove. Like they're maturing. I feel like there's only good things to come from Slowly Slowly. I really love their last album, so I can't wait to see what happens from these guys. But this is Jellyfish by Slowly Slowly.
But how nice is it that I can watch you win? I couldn't care less which world I'm in, and that's the only sense that I can make. And I hope for your sake that you can relate. Yeah, that's pretty weird, right? That's pretty strange, but have you ever seen a jellyfish? Now that shit's crazy. I think you saved me. I know you saved me. Don't mind me screaming out your name, followed up by you can do it. I know you can do it, and I'll hold you to it again.
That was Jellyfish by Slowly Slowly. Our next track is by Adelaide rockers West Theberton. They've released their new single Tops. Now, these guys have been killing it on the international stage, as well as they got an ARIA Award nomination as well last year, which is pretty cool.
Some would say the best.
Yeah, or Tops. Now, their new single Tops has a lot of power to it, and I could see myself in a mosh pit yelling the lyrics back at the band. That's the kind of song, and you know that I do that.
And that's the kind of thing that you would do, Steve.
Exactly. So West Theberton have announced the Tops Tour, which is throughout May and June in Adelaide, Sydney, Newcastle, Melbourne, Perth, Adelaide and the Gold Coast. For all the dates and to buy tickets, head to westtheberton.com. But right now, this is Tops by West Theberton.
I feel tops. Actually, I'm shattered. Pull me back together. But all things aside, I swallow my pride. 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 And all things aside, I said I'm feeling pretty wrecked right now. I'm feeling pretty wrecked right now. I'm feeling pretty wrecked right now. You're making me remember the times I lost. Yeah, I feel tops. Yeah, I feel tops. But you're making me remember the times I lost.
That was Tops by West Theberton. Up next we have We Don't Care by Polish Club. We don't care, do we, Steve?
No, we don't care.
Nah. We Don't Care is the first single taken from Sydney rock duo Polish Club's second studio album, Iguana.
Iguana.
It's an iguana, man. Which will be released on June the 7th. The band have also announced an 18-date tour across Australia, Steve.
It's pretty big.
Bet you when I'm away. No, it's not. It's when I get back.
Oh, nice.
June and July.
Well, you can go then.
I might just do that. For all the dates and to buy tickets, head to polishclub.co. This song's pretty cool. Like, I really like the drum beat, just drives me through it. And the melodies are just really catchy. I just really like it. So this is We Don't Care by Polish Club.
Just to be a start, do it for the art. A couple minutes, a couple calls. Think I'm here. I think I'm here. For the night I can live like a stranger. For the night I forget all the mess. And it's not enough, but I can't stop. For the night I can live like a stranger. For the night I forget all the mess. And it's not enough, but right now we don't care.
That was We Don't Care by Polish Club. Our next track, Cam, is Be Cool by Milo Vitti.
Ooh.
Yeah, now Sydney-based pop-punk group Milo Vitti have released their new song Be Cool, which is a pretty cool straight-up punk track about having a good time despite the come-down that follows, which we've all been there, Cam.
We've all been there, Steve.
And we'll be there once
We'll
again.
never get the time back.
Exactly. And now Milo Vitti will be playing a launch show at the Burdekin on April 27 in Sydney, so if you're in town, check it out. But right now, this is Be Cool by Milo Vitti.
Everybody wants to feel something that nobody believes is real easy. You're so sensitively numb and arguably agreeable paradox. You get attention with so much charm to be able to be as cold and cold
That was Be Cool by Milo Viti. Up next, we've got my favourite band name at the moment.
Yeah.
Psychedelic Porn Crumpets with their new song, Bill's Mandolin.
Yep.
How awesome is that band name? Great interview by them as well that we've done. So
Yes,
check
as well.
that out on Garage Rock Podcast.
Exactly, yep.
They're a Perth-based psychedelic rock band, Psychedelic Porn Crumpets, and they've released their new single, Bill's Mandolin,
Yep.
which is the latest single from their upcoming album, which is another awesome name.
Yeah.
The album is called And Now for the Whatchamacallit. I love it. And that's due to be released on May 31st. The band have also announced their biggest Australian tour to date,
Yeah.
which is shows in Adelaide, Brisbane, Melbourne, Sydney and Perth before heading overseas. No, I really like this song, Steve. Like it's classic Porn Crumpet sound.
Yeah.
Really. But the guitar riffs are just really, really cool guitar riffs, and the vocals just remind me sort of like late Beatles sort of,
Yeah.
kind of sound. But yeah, check it out. It's Bill's Mandolin by Psychedelic Porn Crumpets.
Was Bill's Mandolin by Psychedelic Porn Crumpets. Our next track, Cam, is by Sydney-based rockers White Bay, and they've just released their new single and music video for Jump Into the Wind. Now, I really like the hooks and the riffs throughout this song. Putting it simply, it's just a really cool rock track, Cam.
Yeah.
Can't get much more simpler than that.
Well, of course.
Now, White Bay have also announced an upcoming Sydney show at Frankie's Pizza on May 19, so if you're in the vicinity,
Groovy.
check it out. But right now, this is Jump Into the Wind by White Bay.
Will I find the side of the future much brighter? Is something worth fighting for? Well, there's time to see if this darkness turns lighter. Won't linger here anymore. Oh yeah, oh you know. 'Cause I will find my wings and climb up high and jump into the wind. Take the leap out of my dreams tonight and jump into the wind. Jump into the wind. Oh yeah, yeah.
That was Jump Into the Wind by White Bay. Up next, we've got Familiar Drugs.
Yeah.
We're going to be taking some
Stacks of them.
No, that's the new song by Alexis on Fire.
Yeah.
Canadian fucking hard rockers. They were gone for a little bit, Steve, but they've
Yeah.
come back, obviously. And I saw them a couple of years ago at Unify. They headline, and they do not disappoint. They've just released a video for their single Familiar Drugs, which is their first music released in nearly 9 years.
Yeah.
Now, the song came out in January, but we were on a season break.
Yep.
So since they've released a video clip,
Yep.
that's a good enough reason to mention the song.
Absolutely.
Now, the clip is really cool, and it's shot with both VHS and cell phones. So you're talking our era with VHS.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Oh.
yeah, this is just classic Alexis on Fire. I just feel like there's good things to come from them. So
Yeah.
let's check out Familiar Drugs by Alexis on Fire.
Trust again. You're pushing me.
was Familiar Drugs by Alexis on Fire. Very nicely, Cam.
Awesome.
And our next track is by Scottish pop-punk band Woes. They've released their new single, Suburbs, which is their first release since last year's Self-Help EP. Now, their Self-Help EP was really cool. I quite liked it. And Suburbs, I think, is a great follow-up single. So it'll be interesting to see where the band go from here, especially with a new guitarist joining the band. So let's check it out now. This is Suburbs by Woes.
Can't keep saying that it's over, only when we're sober, then it goes around and round again. Keep screaming that I hate you, tell you I don't love you, but I do, I do, I do. But I do. I moved out from the suburbs, I watched you walk away. I guess I had my shot. Go live the life you want. Moved out, changed your number. I wish that I could stay. I guess I had my shot. Go live the life you want.
That was Suburbs by Woes. Up next, we've got Reprogrammed by Hacktivist.
Yeah.
Another interview we've done recently, Steve.
Yes, last week, in fact.
Now, Hacktivist are a rap metal group from Milton Keynes in England. That's where I'm going.
Milton
Did I mention?
Keynes. No,
Yeah.
no, you didn't. Oh.
And that's it reminds me of. Whenever I read Milton Keynes, it reminds me of Bullet in the Bible by
Yeah.
Green Day, where they played. And they've just released their latest single, Reprogram, which is the first one since a couple of lineup changes within the band.
Yep.
Like I said, Steve chatted to James and Josh last week.
Yep.
And what a great interview it was.
Nice guys.
I really like this song too. Like, it's hard to, compact so many genres into one band, and I
Yep.
feel like they do it quite tastefully. So let's check out Reprogrammed by Hacktivist.
Let me check my Insta, ooh, better check my Twitter too. Haven't selfied in days, people must think I am melting away. Life online is the best, everyone can find my flex. I cannot wait for what's next, yeah, just plug me into the net. When computers go down, pull your head from out of the cloud. A virus infiltrates your tower, you can't surf, there's a drought. We're draining Mother Earth's power, heading for meteor showers. Minutes feel like hours, whole forest landscapes devoured. You scream freezes and shatters, smoke and mirrors lead us to cowards. For the deceased we leave flowers, another disaster will happen. In the meantime there's too much distraction. We stand firm, we won't move a fraction. Got hard drives, don't need expansion. When computers go down then it's time for action.
That was Reprogrammed by Hacktivist, and that is the end of new music for this week's show, Cam. But don't worry.
Speaking of new
You'll be
music,
on
just
it.
quickly, I've
Yep.
seen some good. I went to the outdoor cinema the other night,
Yes.
and which was
I
awesome.
didn't get the invite, but that's fine.
Oh, it was a family thing. Went and saw The Greatest Showman, which is awesome
Still
music
could've
in
got
that, by the
invited.
way.
Thought I was part of this family as well.
This is the greatest show. Yeah. Some of those songs, I want to do drum covers too. Might do them for Garage Rock Podcast, but we'll see how we go.
Yeah.
But they had an acoustic solo musician playing beforehand. Perfect for out. Sun was going down.
Yeah.
Having a bit of a wine out in the picnic blanket.
Very nice.
had a nice spread of cabana and cheese, and the kids are there, and playing around. And it's good fun. And Ruby Whiting is her name. Never heard of her before, but her music, her voice was just so perfect for the setting. Beautiful setting. Beautiful voice.
Yep.
Just a great sound, just to chill out and just enjoy it. So check her out if you can.
The
Ruby
name
Whiting.
again, Ruby Whiting. So
Yeah,
check
that
her out.
name again is
Is-
Ruby Whiting. We'll try and get her on new music at some point.
Yeah, why not? Now, this is, as we said, we're heading off for a mid-season break because you're heading over to the
Leaving
UK.
on a jet plane. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Hopefully it crashes on the way back if it does
Oh,
crash.
what? Jeez.
Is this what you think of me?
No, it was like, that's incredibly morbid. But so this is our mid-season break, so we're going to be taking some time off for a while. But still, if any interviews pop up, I'll still be here. I'll do them as they crop up, and keep a look out on our Instagram because Cam will be uploading photos of having fun in the UK.
I'm going to have a SIM card over there, so maybe I can chime in on some interviews as well.
Yeah, we'll try to hook up with the time zones and see what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But before we do actually go, I want to say happy birthday to our mothers.
Yeah, happy birthday, mumsies.
Yeah, my mum's birthday was yesterday, and your mum's birthday is today.
today, yeah.
So happy birthday to both of our
She's
mothers.
the ripe old age of when I'm 64.
Dun, dun. And yeah, my mum's happy 60th for yesterday, Mum. We got a ticket to see Elton John. I'm taking her to see Elton John.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that should be nice. But
thanks for the invite.
Yeah, well, you'll probably be at the Moonlit Cinema. Anything else? Any final messages we want to say before we take a break? People can still hit us up, obviously, garagerockpodcast@gmail.com, and also your favourite Beatles song.
Yeah, don't forget to send us through your favourite Beatles songs, since I'm going to get a photo across Abbey Road. It's going to be awesome. So
yeah. You're going to do that? You're going to stop? Your family are going to do that thing?
I want to do that. I want to get the perfect shot of my wife and 2 kids and me going across the crossing at Abbey Road.
Are you going to take your shoes off?
Yes.
Yes, I knew you would.
Yeah, I'm the one.
That would be if you lived in the area, that must be the worst.
Oh, it must.
Worst thing.
Stopping traffic.
Exactly.
I did it for a mate's wedding, Pollard. It was an awesome wedding. I had the pleasure of being in the wedding party, and there was a nice zebra crossing across the road, and I took my shoes off, and the 4 of us went across. It was awesome.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to repeat that on proper Abbey Road with my family.
Oh, that's awesome. So we'll look forward to... Are you going to put that up on Instagram as well?
Oh, definitely. If we can get a good shot, no one gets run over.
That's the aim. I'm sure that the people in the area will get infuriated every day, and they're like, fuck it, one day I'm just going to run people over.
I'm taking a stop slow bat over just to make sure it's safe.
Well, that's very nice.
Yeah.
I hope you have a fantastic trip, Cam, and for you and your family, and
Thanks,
enjoy the
Steve.
wedding. But for now, I've been Steve.
And I've been Cam, and thank you very much for listening to Garage Rock, the podcast.
See you in a few weeks, everyone. Bye.